Let's return to observing the process that creates life. The process has many parts, but we experience them simultaneously because they're constantly creating life. Life happens in a process. It goes through different organs and it gains color and interpretation and meaning and speed, and it becomes an experience that we feel as life. So let's return to focus on that, to observe it, in order to get to know it better, to get to know this process. This process is the secret where life decides what it's going to be. It starts with an impulse of life. It starts for everyone the same. But by the time it came through the process and it became a thought, a feeling, a speech or an action, everyone is different. Because this process has to do with the organs. The organs are different for each individual. Also because of their original design, they came from a different seed and they were implanted in a different egg, but also because of the experiences that have ingrained themselves in these organs. And so when the process, the impulse of life becomes an experience, it takes on the color based on all the different organs and how they affect this pure divine impulse. If we can return and observe this process, we can assist in this process. This process is crucial because it decides our entire faith. From when the impulse becomes life until it becomes our experience, that's where everything about us is decided. There are so many possibilities that we don't have access to unless we can return to observing the process that we've recorded from when we arrived, of how we create life, how the spirit sits in the body. So return, step back, let go of whatever you're drawing, whatever you're imagining that never happened and never will happen, because the imagination is separate from the events. Events happen outside of us, imagination is inside of us. So when we imagine things happening, that's always just imagination. It doesn't matter if it happened outside or not. Inside we are imagining it. And so return from all your drawings and all your imaginations to observe the actual process that is making you as you are. Zoom into that as closely as possible. You know, this process happens on its own. It doesn't need our assistance. This process is reporting to a will that is greater than us. We exist because of that will. This process exists because of that will. And so when we return to this process, we are reconnecting our will to the greater will that wants us to exist. There's someone that wants us to be. That's why we are. And we can connect to that will, we can get strength, we can get life from His will that we should exist. And when we connect more to that will, then the process that creates us improves. There's more life, which means the organs can do better. What do the organs do better? You. They create a better you. If there's more will to life within you, you are a better you. If there's less will to life within you, then you're less you than you could be. And this accumulates. More you and less you. Over the years, how much is the desire? How much are you committed? How much is the soul invested? So we want to create more soul, we want to connect more to the will. We want to be completely aligned with the will that wills us into existence, so we can receive all of the life He wants to give us. We don't want to create any obstructions in how we receive life, not in our body and not in our soul, in our mind, in our perception. We want to make sure everything is aligned so that the will can reside in us without obstruction. Then we receive the most life. We receive according to His measure. His will is a very big will. We can only receive based on the vessel that we have, which is the body, the development of the organs, the wisdom within them to recognize truth and know how to align with it. So this requires our full attention. We have to return from whatever we're imagining and try to observe the process that creates us so that we can become a better us. Then what's happening will look different. We'll be inviting different things, and different things will appear. Allow yourself to come back behind what is happening in your experience, so that you can observe and realize the nature of this experience. Realize that you are all the components that are being presented in your experience. Nothing outside of you is really being presented inside of your experience. The organs might make it seem that way, but the reality of what you're experiencing is inside of you and only inside of you, and based on how the organs create your experience, that's what you have access to. And so this is where there are differences between us, is how this process dresses the life force as it comes through our process, through our body, through our organs, through our history, through our nature. It absorbs all of that as it flows through, and it becomes what we are, what we have access to, what we see as the face of existence.